Please state your name, occupation, and the position you are seeking.
Okay. Hello, I'm Emilio Martinez. Was born and raised here in Laredo. I'm an attorney. Been an attorney for over 30 years. And I'm running for City Council District 6.
Have you received any formal education?
Yes, I was born and raised here. I went to Laredo Public Schools. I graduated from Martin High School. I'm not going to say when. I think it dates me a little bit too much, but I'm proud to have gone to Martin. I went to 1 year to Laredo Community College. It's called that. It was called Laredo Junior College back then. I think that dates me also. I transferred. I graduated from the University of Texas at Austin with a Bachelor of Arts degree in 1974. In 1978, I got my degree from the University of Houston Law School, and a Juris Doctor of Jurisprudence. I was licensed to practice law on February the 3rd, 1978, and I've been practicing law ever since.
How long have you lived in the district?
All my life, born and raised here. Well, except for when I was out of town going to college, but even then, I was living over there, but I was always a resident of Laredo, and my heart has always stayed here.
And what do you think is the primary need in your district, and how do you plan to address it?
It's not only my district, I think it affects the rest of the city as well. I've spoken to the district residents, and they want their taxes cut. They feel they're paying too much in taxes. They need a break. And I want to not just tell them that, hey, I'm going to look after your, the budgets and be careful with your money. I want to say, hey, I want to cut your taxes so that they're not taking that much money from you anymore. That you're going to see a cut in your taxes. I also want to see the cut in their water and sewer rates. People, as I've been walking in the neighborhoods and talking to people, they complain to me and they say, hey, our water and sewer rates are too high. They've tried stuff to lower their water rates, like getting a second meter, but some people say, hey, even that doesn't help, and I just wasted my money on a second meter. Let's take a look at their water and sewer rates and cut them as well.
And then what would you do, what do you see as the most pressing need for the district as a whole, and what would you do to address it?
Aside from the tax cuts and controlling the growth and stopping the growth of the government, within the existing framework of our government, we can do more things. We don't need to create new departments. When you create new departments, you have to create little hierarchies and bureaucracies. That costs more money. We can do it without that. We need to get into service plans. On the little things and the big things. The little things, you got a pothole, it should be fixed within 1 week of the time you report it. Set plans like that. More specifically, we should address our infrastructure so that people can get from one part of town to another. Some of it is, for example, in my district, Springfield Avenue, between Calle del Norte and Man Road. It's a mess. It needs to be cleared up. Jackman Road, it borders my district, but it affects my district. We need to open up a second way to get to the loop. And we can do this along Fenwick, and we can plan it right so that we don't have to go in there and then make changes to the point that instead of helping the traffic, it creates a bigger mess. And that's, I think, has happened with Jackman Road, where it was 2 lanes coming one way, 2 lanes going another. Now they change it to 3 lanes going one way and 1 lane going the other. You fix one problem, but you create another. We need to address it by having more connecting streets. The one that suggests itself is Fenwick all the way to the loop. The loop itself needs to be a true loop to move traffic from one part of town to another without having to stop for traffic lights. Many years ago, originally was planned that McPherson Road was going to be that loop, and the planner said, no, that's still too far in. You don't need it as a loop. It has to be a normal street. Okay, develop like that. You have tremendous traffic jams there. The one they mentioned for the loop was Loop 20, and frankly, it was not done correctly. We need to address it. It's going to cost some money, unfortunately, but I think we need to get the state and the federal government to step up to the plate on that, because that's part of the highway system, and they have an obligation to Laredo and to our community, and I want to hold their feet to the fire so that they come through.
What would you do to help control crime, particularly domestic violence, gang violence, and drug trafficking?
I think we need a tracking system. There's another part of crime, and that you did not address, and that is property crimes. People get burglarized in their homes, their vehicles. That hurts at a very personal level. I've talked to people that have suffered from those kind of crime. They feel violated. We need to have a tracking system to see. One of the complaints is that there's a revolving door. People get arrested, they're out within 24 hours. I understand some of it has to do with bonds, but when somebody's been arrested 8 or 10 times for a burglary, and they're still getting out of that revolving door, then something's wrong. I know I'm an attorney, and I know there are ways to fix that, but we need to gather together all the law enforcement agencies, but especially the Sheriff's Department, the Police Department, and the District Attorney's Office. Those are the main ones. And see if there's a way to, if you have a criminal that's a career criminal and is violating the law and he's out on probation, he or she's out on probation, they continue to violate the law, there's things that can be done. We need to address that.
Your opponents may try to point out weaknesses in your campaign over the next month. What do you believe they'll say is your biggest weakness, and how will you respond?
Well, they're already saying as to how I'm going to pay for the tax cut. And the answer is, because it's very simple. We have a city manager's office. They get paid very, very well. And their job is to do the budgets. Their job is to figure out where we're going to address that. The biggest problem that they are not foreseeing is that we just need to make up our minds that we want a tax cut. That's it. I'll make the motion. I get elected. I'll make the motion to cut taxes. We'll do all the requisite, public hearings, advertising in the newspaper, and then actually vote on it and cut it. Once the council votes to cut taxes, it can be budgeted, and the city manager will budget it. I have full confidence the city manager's office will budget it. And they have a variety of methods they can do to make it fit. And I think they can make it the budget cuts needed, and they can do it without firing people, and they can do it without cutting services. And I'm willing to roll up my sleeves and work with them to make sure this is done. Even though technically and theoretically that's not part of the city councilman's job, I'm willing to do that. I'm willing to go above and beyond the effort to do that, to tell the people of Laredo there is a solution to the high taxes. We can cut them, and we can make it work, and your services don't need to go down, and we don't need to fire employees.
Final question, why should voters choose you over the other candidates?
I am the best qualified in terms of education, in terms of life experience. I'm also don't have a special interest in this race. I don't want to make money off the city. I don't want to work with the city, do business with it. What I want to do is to serve. And to me, that's even better. That's a better qualification than being a lawyer, than going to the University of Texas, than going to the University of Houston Law School, than getting a Juris Doctor degree. To me, it's a commitment to work for the people, to cut their taxes, and cut their water rates, because that's what they want. They want that more than any other thing. They haven't told me I want a convention center or a community center. They say, I can't handle the taxes, help me. And I want to help. And that's the difference between me and my opponents. I want to cut taxes. They don't. Thank you.